Ready, aim, fire.
Get it.
Welcome to Live with Sensei. I'm your host, Jay Haynes, for the Film Sensei YouTube channel. In this 11th episode of Season 2, I'm delighted to be hosting an expert in both Blender and HitFilm, and that is Frank Salinas. Welcome, Frank. How are you?
Oh. Wow.
Wait, here, let me do this. And Courtney is with us, too. Welcome, Courtney. How are you?
I'm good.
All right. We're just going to cut Frank out altogether. There we go. Just kidding. Just kidding. How are you guys doing?
That's okay.
Good. Thank you for having us.
Oh,
We're working on Flat Filmer.
It is
pretty good.
Pleasure. Frank is known on the FX home forums as Spider Hank. And today we're going to talk about Blender, HitFilm, and most importantly, his personal product, Filmer. Filmer is like a derivative of Blender. Maybe Frank could explain it a little bit better.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Really, it's just a souped up version of Blender that can render super fast, and it's really easy to export anything, like any kind of animation and the mesh, over to HitFilm.
Right. And here is Frank's website. It is owlmycgi.net. And there you'll find all kinds of information about it. And you'll see all the kinds of really cool things that he does with Filmer. And this is a project that's been ongoing for a long time. How long have you been working on this?
Filmer itself, like not quite a year, because I just learned how to code.
Right.
And but the idea came back in 2008. The idea for it. Right.
But it's a fairly recent thing. I know one of the things about it that I like is that you can take something in your 3D environment for like your entire scene in Filmer or Blender, and then export it to HitFilm and be able to continue working on that exact same 3D scene in HitFilm.
Yeah, it's like really cool, because I mean, it kind of came together when. Did you ever know a guy named Mark Edwards?
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm.
He wrote the original script, or one of the original scripts, for HitFilm to get stuff from Blender to HitFilm, the camera.
Okay.
And, it started coming together there because it was really cool. But we always had problems with rotations, stuff like that. But then now I've been working on it. The
environment is different. Is that the reason?
What's that?
Is that because the 3D environment is inherently different between Blender and HitFilm, or what?
Yeah, left and right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, been working on it for like ever, but only when I really needed to. So I got the rotations working, in straight lines, but as long as nothing went over 90 degrees, it would always work.
Mm-hmm.
But then the first stream that you and Greg and the first live chat between you and Greg, Gray Motion, he mentioned that the After Effects script was working. So I went to go and looked at that and got some really cool ideas from it. And then obviously not too long ago, Josh gave us that gift with the fixed proper way to write the Eulers, which was woohoo, really cool.
My question is, how close was your script to his script?
Mine looked more like the After Effects script, because I mean that stuff was working, but I used some code from a Maya script from a long time ago, and that was working. But then, once we got Josh's script, I'm like, if this is the proper way to do it, let's do it like this. So I took that little bit of code that genius, and I used it, and it's really cool.
And would you say that works better than yours, or did yours work pretty well? I thought. Yeah,
but it was like, say, mine was a combination of like 3 scripts, kind of hacked together. But after looking at his, and the After Effects script. I'm like, okay, this is how it's done. This is how I should do it. This is really cool. So it's a blessing to be able to see and know how it's done, like how it should be done. So now it's not so hacked.
Very cool. And Courtney, what is your handle on the forums? I forget.
I believe it's Courtney Mermaid or Mermaid Courtney, something like that.
Yeah, it's some.
I can
There's
only
a
use
mermaid
that there,
involved.
But I know it's so weird. There's already a Courtney Mermaid who is very, lucrative on YouTube. She does tales and things like that. So I couldn't use my own name.
Oh, that's a bummer. That's too bad. So your YouTube channel is what?
Mermaid Clover. I am the Kissimmee Mermaid. I swim out in Lake Toho and the Florida Springs. They're absolutely beautiful.
Very, very cool. Well, let's see who we got here today. We have Dafter Things is in the house. And, Frank, you're in the house. And Courtney, you're in the house. And Terry's in the house. Great to have everybody. And there's, let's see, Flying Bananas in the house. And Greg is in the house also. So if you're in the house, definitely leave a chat or leave a comment in the chat room, and I will recognize you. I do want to mention next week I'll have Mike Miller back
down every time
with Triumph Visual. He'll be back on the show next week talking about 3D model workflows in HitFilm. So don't miss next week's show at all. So we have CC Coder's in the house too, but it hasn't popped up on my list yet. CC Coder, in the house, CC Coder. There you are, sir. Great to have everybody. You guys had quite the conversation going on. I was following it as you guys were talking, so it's great to see that. So what do we have coming here with Filmer? Can you tell us all the exciting new things that you've been working on and what's in there since the last time we chatted?
I did some ADR, which would be like recording and speaking, and for the installation of Filmer, doing that a few times. And just as like a funny moment, I was in the middle of a sentence and I'm like, da 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 da, and I just kept going.
Like she didn't even know.
And I recorded all of that, but it wasn't intentional. I was just kind of getting it. Okay, just got to keep going, and I'll edit it later. Yeah, Frank listened to that version. I forgot to delete that one.
Forgot to mention that.
Oh, Gleek and Mark were there. That's cool.
I do that all the time. Fortunately, I'm the one that does the editing as well as the recording. So I know when I messed it up. Farrah Films, good to have you, sir. So what do we you're going to do a screen share of some sort. I shared your website. Look at these beautiful, fantastic renders. These things are absolutely amazing. And I know you keep teasing that you're going to show us how to do these render passes. And I'm just dying every time I see you post on the forum. I think, this is going to be it. Oh, no, it's not it.
Well, we want to make sure we've got a full rollout for you guys so that it's not just one thing and then you wait 6 months and there's another thing. We're going to have it prepared so it'll be ready to be released regularly. Just how to do everything.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, what you're doing in this is unbelievable. The other thing that I understand is it has just super fast, amazing, render speeds as well.
Yeah, I did a benchmark while we were talking or whatever. If you want to would you like to see those times?
I would love to see it. Tabs is in the house. Good evening, Tabs. How are you? Good to have you.
Hello.
Yeah, do you want to share your screen for that, or do you want to just share the numbers for me, or what?
I'll share it with you.
Okay.
This is the BMW benchmark.
All right, hold on. I still don't see your screen, but Andy is in the house. Hi there, Andy. Good to have you. Appreciate you being here.
Hi, Andy.
And also CNK is here. Great to have you too. Talked to you a lot on the forums.
CNK. See ya.
Glad you're here for sure. All right. Okay, now I
Yep.
see your screen. Let me know when you're ready for me to share it.
Yeah.
'Cause I think I see. Now you're ready. All right, here it is.
All right. So this is regular. Whoops. There it is. Come back. Oh my God, my mouse. So this is Blender 2.8,
Okay.
and there's the render time,
About 8 minutes.
8 minutes. But I did crank it up, 107. Then here is Filmer. It says 103 here, but we can add this viewport as an extra sample, and these 3 detail things down here. So it's all that makes 107.
Okay.
And
4 minutes.
yeah,
Wow.
and it comes out really clean. But check this out.
Let me,
So here's one of the shaders that you guys are gonna get, and it's the regular Bmw Scene Shader plugged into one of my shaders. Then let me do that. Oh wait, but we're not even denoising. That's all right.
Suffice it to say, there's more in Filmer than just a few things pulled from cycles and other scripts. There's a lot more here than you realize until you're actually in the program.
Yeah, because once you start rendering, you save time. Woo!
yeah, a lot of time.
26 seconds, 28.
Chewed through it.
And this is with everything else running here at the same time on your
With
computer.
YouTube going, with the camera attached. Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it comes out really good
32.8 seconds.
versus before.
8 minutes.
Whoops.
Wow.
Just little things like that.
That is lovely. That is lovely. And that looks fantastic.
And it's not that Blender is bad, it's just really slow.
Yep. Yep. Wow.
That's cool. We can get rid of that.
That is fantastic. Look at that. I love it. I love it. So you use Filmer to do render passes for things that you would then bring into HitFilm and continue to work on, or do you do it the other way? Do you start in HitFilm and then go to Blender?
Both.
Filmer. You do both ways?
Yeah.
Do you like start in HitFilm and then bring it over to Filmer?
I brought I made a custom AOV render pass in HitFilm and brought it over into Blender to mix something in over there.
Wow.
And it's really cool. I did it I'm working on an intro for Courtney. Like it's a 3D scene, but I started it in HitFilm and took it over to Blender or Filmer, sorry.
Right.
And it's really cool because just the interaction.
It's much more dynamic to a title than just something you would get off of a basic app. It's got shadows and a clarity and professionalism, that doesn't come from just plain stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna open up HitFilm, but
I'm sure it'll run with all the other things running, right?
it might.
It will, I'm sure. I will say though that when you're running your browser, it's such a resource hog. When I try to run both HitFilm and my browser at the same time,
yeah,
something suffers. It's usually HitFilm. Yeah,
that was happening to me earlier.
If anybody in the chat room has any questions about Filmer or questions about anything for Frank or questions about how to be a mermaid, feel free to ask away. Ask away all you
There's
like.
that can of worms.
Can you swim?
Can I show this? Can I
Oh,
share
yeah.
your screen again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Loved what you did, Dafter. That was really cool. The outer, what was it called? The Outer World.
Outer Realms. Yeah,
The
that was a
Outer-
great.
That was such a cool short, man.
It was awesome.
All right. So this started here in HitFilm. I took it over to Blender or Filmer, sorry. And I've got a bunch of them open. Just a couple of different things. Mats. Oh, this is one of the things. Like this came from HitFilm.
Yep.
From one of the templates.
Yep, that's the standard template.
Brought it into Filmer and just put it into the scene. Whoops, do I need to do that? Yeah, it ain't gonna play. Oh, it might.
Very slowly.
So everything just went over to Filmer, then I brought it back and kind of put it all together.
Nice.
There's a template.
Is this
HitFilm templates.
right? And so what is this project for?
For our tutorials. I was making a little intro for for Courtney. Is it this one? Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many open.
So these, how many tutorials and what are they about with regards to Filmer?
Installing it, being careful of using it with regular Blender 2.8.
Oh, right.
Because some things won't work. It's better to append than to just open a file.
Right.
It's safer. Things like that.
Very cool. Oh, here's a good question. When?
Right around the corner.
It's coming. It is.
Awesome. That's exciting. So what other kinds of things can we expect to see?
I wonder if it's in here. Something. Is it this one? It might be. Something like this.
Well, we're definitely going to try and make a movie. I've wanted to make a movie for a long time. I'm a big horror film fan too. So I've been very interested in special effects for a very long time. I worked at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights and just got enamored by all of the wild sets and everything that they would start building in September.
Right.
And I absolutely love anything that's a creature feature or something like that. Frank calls it my coffee, my morning coffee, because it doesn't really scare me. Scary movies aren't that scary to me because I know it's special effects.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm definitely going to create something unique, new film. Maybe not on the the level of you guys because it'll be me making it, but I'm going to be learning how to use Filmer along with the rest of you because years ago, Frank handed me the tutorial or the new noob book for Blender and said, learn this. And there was like, no way.
You got it for me.
I did. I got it for him.
You
and
bought
he
it for me.
He wants me to learn it. I'm not learning this. No.
I'm like, you learn it,
But now-
then teach me.
I am a complete novice in it and I get to learn along with you guys and kind of like from square one, learn how to use all these programs. I do have some familiarity with color grading and things like that, but nothing in the 3D realm. I have no idea what I'm doing. So that's kind of where we're going to go with it. Like somebody that has absolutely no knowledge is going to take this on and move it from here's a movie or here's my idea and here's my movie.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So BrideTube is in the house. Hi, hey peeps. BrideTube, good to have you. And it looks like Terry suggests doing a takeoff of the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Yes, some of it was filmed in the Springs. You are correct.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's pretty
That
cool.
water is outstanding. It's crystal clear. The water is usually around 67 to 72 degrees all year long. So it could be 30 degrees outside, but that water is bathtub warm.
Wow, no kidding. This is a really cool shot. This looks like an X-wing.
Yeah. And here it is in 3D. I wonder.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Tony Dafter Things suggests Aqua Woman.
Ooh, that might be a good one. I like that because I do have red hair, and I don't have to wear a wig like that lady in.
Yep, that's right.
I hated that wig, everybody. I'm sorry. I wanted to yank it off her head the whole movie.
Greg's question is, what did she call me? A perv maid?
Yeah, mervert.
A mervert.
Yeah,
a mervert.
I don't mind. Everybody's weird. Everybody's got their own brand of weird. That's fine.
Perv maid, mervert, whatever.
Mervert. Well, we've come up with our own language to so many degrees. Merwrangler. That's the guy that comes and picks us up and takes us places.
A merwrangler?
Yep. Or Mer-security.
Mer-security. You probably need a lot of that, I would imagine.
Yep, to keep the shrimple-minded away.
The shrimple-minded.
Fish puns galore, sir. Fish puns galore.
Oh, that's so good. I could be what did you call it? Mer-security?
Jay, I will send you a mermaid tail if you'd like to be a merman.
I could be Mer-security because I have plenty of martial arts experience.
There you go. There you go.
I got it. CC Coder suggests The Little Mermaid.
That is a good one. There are a few out there, though, and Disney's rather protective of their content. So duplicating something like that might be difficult.
Yeah, no kidding. You'd have to be
I want to be where the people aren't.
Yeah. There is that. A dark version of The Little Mermaid. That'd be good.
That would be neat. Where she meets people.
No. I don't want to see that.
Ruined my childhood.
Oh, well, you should read The First Little Mermaid by Andrew,
I don't want to.
It's not a happy story. Disney made it happy.
Yeah, Disney tends to do that.
And that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So you're going to come out with a whole set of tutorials.
Yeah.
Or at least a few, along with a rollout. Are we still officially in beta?
Yeah. Because I'm using code what's it called? Blender 2.83 alpha, and it's really stable. But they're adding more features, really good ones, in a couple of days.
Oh, really? Like what? What are they adding? Do you know?
Adaptive sampling or blue noise. Something blue noise. I didn't really catch the whole thing, but something that RenderMan uses. Dithered Sobel, scrambling distance, all little things that speed up Blender. And they are already in Filmer, but might wait to see how they do it.
Right. Tantia Vader? Tantia Vader is in the house. Hello. Great to have you.
Howdy.
And BrightTube says, never played with 3D yet. Subject change. My Bluetooth has now hit 73,000 views. What the heck?
Oh, congratulations.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding. That's amazing.
Awesome.
Glad it's doing well. You bet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, I got to tell you, I am super excited for for the things that you're doing here with Filmer, and I just can't wait. I think it's going to be so awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We definitely make it simple to understand, like we had talked about, like 1, 2, 3 steps. That way it's not convoluted by a lot of things, and it's direct. Exactly what you asked for is what you'll see. That way it's easier to process, slow it down, rewind, and watch it over and over in a simplified way.
Yeah. And I think where can somebody get their copy of Filmer?
Ooh, almycgi.net, in the shop, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just download. We're in beta, but alpha is coming. We just want to make sure you guys are getting the best of the best, cream of the crop type thing.
Right.
And
So it's,
we can do
it's
to
the
make it
third
better.
one over here. Filmer in the 3D shop.
Yes.
Ah, yeah. Ooh. Right. Here they are right here. You can get your copy of it and Filmer away. And
we're also going to be doing some interesting tiered projects where you'll have special access and first premiere access to things. We're going to build a Patreon, and it's not going to be like crazy, but it'll be ahead of the line, like a lot of things that you would. I don't know. How would you explain
the
that?
stuff that you're
without
better
saying
at?
Too much.
It's just the stuff that you're better at.
It's the stuff I'm better
the stuff
at.
you're better at saying.
But it will be a bigger kind of. You'll have more access to some of Frank's personal designs and stuff on certain tiers. Be able to get exclusive content and things like that.
Use the 3D models that I build for free because I'm normally build something every day, like have a routine, code a little, build something, paint something, bring it into HitFilm, then start over the next day. But I haven't done that in a while. I haven't built anything except for this past October, but that was for somebody, and I can't tell you about that.
Yeah.
But it was really big, and I did it in 3 days, like
three
millions.
That's right. I remember that. Okay.
Millions of polys. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
That's amazing. So Tantia Vader asks, I'm 14 and I'm beginning with HitFilm. Is it an easy program?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it is. But, it feels like it could be overwhelming when you first open it up and you look at it and you say, oh, my goodness, there's a lot of stuff here. But the good news is, and Dapter Thing says it here, it looks a little daunting, but you can do very good things very quickly. There are lots of great tutorials and a very supportive community. And that is really the key. You go to the forums and ask all the questions that you have, and people are very friendly there and they will work with you. I know I do all the time. And I know Frank gets on there and Tony gets on there, Dafter Things, and a lot of the folks that are here, Terry, 4K Productions, same thing. He says, definitely sign up with the FX Home Forum. There's tons of help there. All of us are there and we work real hard to make everybody feel welcome and at home. And the company itself does that as well. They are very, very user-friendly, and especially for brand new beginners who have never played around with this kind of stuff before. They're really, really good. It's definitely the place to go, so.
Yeah, it's for sure. They made it super easy to use because, if it wasn't easy, then we couldn't do the stuff that we can do. So it is. They just awesome software.
Yep, and welcome to the community where there are 5 million users that are using this software. So, and when I say that, that's not like how many people, how many downloads. We're talking 5 million individual registered users who are using this stuff. So there's a lot of people out there who are really, working and making it happen. Greg has a question. How is the render times for cloth? 8 minutes a frame. Holy smokes. Do you see that?
What?
Oh, wow. I rendered out Erwin the Dragon sequences in Filmer 2.81, 8 minutes a frame per frame.
I'd have to check that out.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's pretty good. Yeah. Have you done any?
We're still in beta, so we'll definitely look at that and make sure we correct that before we send out, the flag that everything's cool. Thank you for letting us know, Greg. I don't believe I've seen Frank text fabric in there yet.
Not in a while.
We'll make sure it works.
Well, and they have some new fabric stuff coming out, and so
Mantraflow.
Yeah, it's and so that's kind of become a hot topic.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, I'll check it out.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know. Tantia, you're very welcome. We love to see you in the forums, and we wish you all the best and hope that everything goes really well for you. Let me see. I take it. This is Greg again. The export for empties and the camera are now very stable with HitFilm.
Yeah, thanks to that little tidbit that Josh gave us.
Yep.
So it's really cool. Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, Josh is Josh Davies. He is the CEO and owner of FX Home, the makers of HitFilm.
Yeah.
And he literally gave out that little piece of code that shows how to take something from Filmer or from Blender and bring it into to HitFilm. Let's see. OBJ sequence exporter.
Oh yeah. Greg and I got to talk.
There you go. And this is important too. There's no snobbery for Express users as opposed to Pro users. Absolutely not.
No, I use Express. Most times I start in Express.
I use Express.
I still use Express also. And then because you can always go to Pro if you have to, but usually you don't. And I've found that Express moves faster on my computer. So most of my tutorials are Express tutorials too. And obviously my Udemy course is totally on Express. I've had a handful of people ask if I would do a Pro one, but Express covers most everything that you would need, so Pro, I don't know if there's a big enough need for that, I guess I'll think about it. I keep saying I'll think about it. My problem is it took me 8 months to do the course on Express in my vast amounts of free time. And so, it would take obviously it would take longer than that to do the Pro one because I'd have to do everything again, plus all the stuff in Pro. So, CC Coder says, although it's taken me 2 years to understand the capabilities of HitFilm, I'd say use it every day and keep it simple. Yep, I would too. And, you see something and you go out and try it. You see somebody do something, you go out and try it. Or if you need to do something, then you immediately go look for it. See if somebody else has done it, because chances are they have. And then you can go ahead and, replicate what they've done. Worst case scenario is you send me an email and I will help you do it. And I do that all the time. I help people all the time. I'm working with I worked with a few years ago a gym teacher I think he's in Ohio. And the principal wanted to do this video for the students at an assembly where he was Superman, and he went out in the parking lot and took off, and he found my Superman takeoff video. And so he asked for my help, and he and I built it together. And now the principal wants to do a Michael Jordan slam, basketball thing. But he's like, yeah, my principal can't actually slam a basketball. I said, that's okay. We can make it look like he really does, so we're working on that together now.
Every director's worst nightmare, we'll fix it in post.
Yeah. I've helped teenagers do, fan films, Darth Vader things and whatever, so lightsaber films. I really enjoy doing that. So without any question. Adapter Thing says, I have Pro, but I believe I can do most of what I use HitFilm for in Express.
In your future expectations.
I agree. Terry says, my little graveyard skeleton video has 15-minute per frame renders, but that was before I streamlined my system. Yeah.
It's definitely important to make sure that all the physical components in your computer are configured in a way that are effortable, because I know, what is it? This HitFilm really likes NVIDIA specific programming and whatnot. Right. I don't know why, but it's just more fond of that than other hardware.
Well, I think that they originated by specifically catering it towards that. But now they cater towards AMD GPUs as well. So that's the good news. Yeah, Flying Banana says, don't start expecting to create Infinity War. But Great Motion says, well, you're taking all the fun out of it, man. Thanks a lot. So that is the question. What exactly is Filmer and your future expectations for it?
To sell a whole bunch of copies and make it faster and faster. Because, I mean, really, at first I was just building it for me because I just wanted to go faster and faster and faster and faster. But, I think other people can use it.
Filmer is a custom-coded version of Blender. And it's a 3D program that we've configured to work and integrate specifically with HitFilm. That way, everything that you're doing in Filmer just easily moves right over to HitFilm and right back and so forth. Because sometimes you want to do that with shots and scenes and stuff. And we want to make it easier for the internet creators, folks like Jay, those of us that are we're not looking to make Hollywood feature films, but we enjoy filmmaking and we want to do it in a more professional way, right? So adding 3D aspects and particle systems and things like that isn't something you can do from a mobile very easily. You have to have a program with render capabilities. So Filmer is going to be a quick render program to be able to move you from, okay, I've got my 3D thing, now throw it in HitFilm, squeak over to Jay. Jay will show you how to do everything in HitFilm. Filmer is, yeah.
and Terry says, Courtney for the win, right there. That's exactly it. You have nailed it. That's perfect.
Yeah, my answers are way too simple. What do you want? I want to go fast. Like more. I always want to go quicker.
Yeah, one of the
car, I have to put brakes on.
Yeah, you got to slow down.
Well, one of the beautiful things about Filmer is its integration with with HitFilm. So you made, there are certain things that HitFilm does really well, and there are certain things that Blender does really well that HitFilm doesn't do as well. And so it's nice to have both of those, tools in your toolbox so that you can reach and grab each one and know that they're going to work with each other.
Right.
That's what really, really sells me on Filmer, is the idea that, I can work all this stuff in Blender and then I can bring it into HitFilm and know that it's going to fit right. Everything's going to work just like I want it to there, and I can complete what I'm doing there, or vice versa. So
right, not having to fix vertices and gimbal problems. It just moves over A to B.
Yeah, and that is really important because that's really, really frustrating when you have the lighting right in Blender or in Filmer, and then you bring it over to HitFilm and it's not right. And it's automatically, you could tell right away. So it's just so nice that that it's going to work. And Tantia says, this is for school. I'm going to make a movie. I'm from Holland, so I'm going to make it all in Dutch. We have a couple of weeks ago, I hosted Jamie from Film Empire, and he is also Dutch. And he is extremely talented young man. He is he's either a senior in high school, or he's in his last year, or he has graduated. But he and I knew when he was much younger than he is now, and I helped him make some films and things like that. So
that's cool.
His name is Film Empire on the forums, and he has a website or a YouTube channel called Film Empire. Definitely want to check him out. He is Dutch. He speaks fluently, and he's also one of the moderators for the HitFilm subreddit, which is actually sanctioned by FX Home. But he was the person who started the subreddit, and one of the guys that started it, and so he's still a moderator on there, and he's constantly always in there. So for sure. Yeah. Let me see here. Here we go. Oh, that's why I'm like, I lost my thing here. CC Coder, when will Filmer be an add-on in HitFilm?
It would be nice to collaborate with them. However, we are independent for the moment. And I believe that was kind of part of the reason why they may have released that code, is because they know what Frank is working on is going to be so powerful. And that tiny bit of information just took us from 0 to 60, because then we had the direct information. We knew exactly what kind of oil went in that car.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to guess, he handed you the manual, like, oh, this is amazing, of course. And it's going to benefit them as well once they learn how to use it, because their render speeds are going to improve too.
Dude, with that little piece of code, I'm out.
Absolutely.
With that code. Have you? Oh my God, it's really cool.
Yeah. And it was really nice. And that's the kind of company that FX Home is. They do things that are very different than most of the VFX industry, and that's and those
Josh got me my start into like basically VFX stuff long time ago with lynda.com. He got me my first gig. Yeah. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah, he really is. I had him on the show maybe a month ago, and he was refreshingly honest and candid and sincere for a CEO of a big corporation like he is.
Yeah, he's always like really cool.
Yeah, he really is. And yeah, there. And After Things says, the Film Empire, definitely find him. Film Empire does some great stuff. That's right. Is there a way to change the edge color of a mask in HitFilm? I'm trying to clone several objects, but they have a light glow around them. Changing the glow to the background color could help. When you say there's a light glow around it, what do you mean? I'm not following that.
I'd have to see it.
Yeah, I would have to see it too, because usually, usually when you mask it, it's just it's a mask. And it's just cutting it out, or it's only cutting everything else out outside of the mask. So wait, who are you waving at?
Bill, Coast to Coast is in the house.
Coast to Coast is in the house. Great to have you.
Tommy, I think that'd be a lengthy answer, so definitely check out the forums and see if that question isn't already answered there. If not, ask it there, and I'm sure that there's tons of guys that would be able to give you a better idea. We just don't have enough detail from your comment to be able to understand.
Screen grab.
Yeah.
Also.
Definitely. So, cool. Does anybody else have any other questions about Filmer or about HitFilm or how they work together? Leave them in the comments. Somebody made a comment about my haircut. This is my new haircut. It's short. It's actually grown a little long. See, wait, did Frank get a haircut and a shave?
He brushed his hair, guys. He brushed
he combed it. Let's see. Wait, I might have missed your question, Bride 2. What was it? Let me see.
Oh, he says open the wallet. Is that a question?
No, that wasn't it. Let's see. I'm looking for it. Let's see. I can't. Hey, do you remember? Wait, is this it here?
I'd like to add magic to my Disney clips from holidays.
Yeah, I saw that one. You know how to do the 2 clip you did with a picture change in the frame around the dinner table? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Could you do it again, but with the camera moving in the room and past the picture? Yeah, you could do that. I could do that. How I did the clip with a picture hanging in the frame around the dinner table. Yeah, yes, because and I think you're thinking about the one that I did with where I used quad warp effect to change the picture, and the camera was moving actually in that shot. At least if that's the one I'm thinking about. But I can absolutely expand on that for sure. Will Filmer have a render shader set up for individual passes, or are those things you're going to show in your tutorials?
You can do render passes, but it's a lot faster a lot faster to just get one beauty pass. But I can do that if you prefer having to do all that compositing on your own. I can do that. There's not a no. There is no no. Put them two things together, you can do anything.
So would you suggest, because I know that, like I said, certain things you can do in Filmer and they look better than if you do them in HitFilm. So I go to Filmer and I'll render pass certain things in Filmer. Then I'll bring those render passes into HitFilm and incorporate them there. Would it be better not to do that?
Well, I made it so you can do it any way you want. There is no, as far as I'm concerned, there's no wrong or right way to do it, because you can stack things up on top of each other no matter what. Blend modes, masks, and
Sure.
But the fastest way, don't do render passes in Filmer, but you can, because sometimes you need to. The fastest way is just to get one beauty pass. It shaves a lot of time to not have to composite.
So he says the ambient occlusion and the shadow and HitFilm will interact with the beauty pass. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and see that's what I do, but I do it on render passing. In other words, I do the whole thing and I basically render it out in Filmer, and then I bring it over to HitFilm and I lay it on there with a blend mode of overlay or something like that. Is that not the best way to do it, or would there be a better way?
That's the thing.
You can do it either way.
There is no right or wrong way to do it. Whatever way you think, it's going to work. And if it doesn't work for you right then and there, it's going to work for you in another situation. So much to say. Yeah. There's a way to do it that I'm going to get to, but first, Greg, I really want to tell him first. I've only told one person, which is Courtney, and she understood it right away. Okay. And she understood it so well that it incorporated into the way she thinks like that. And it explained everything like artistically, just artistically. And you can literally do anything.
So it's a tidbit, little bit of a, we'll give it to Greg and then it'll come out in one of the tutorials.
Okay, perfect.
Greg's, not to be like mushy, but Greg's got a
special place in our heart. He's been a huge supporter of us from day one. So he's definitely going to be on that exclusive membership rights for just a little bit of a sneak peek ahead. Not too far ahead of you guys, but just a little bit, because he really has been there for us for a very, very long time before we even got to this point. You know what I mean? He's been encouraging and supporting us and making sure like, hey, keep doing stuff because it's awesome.
And Greg's okay. Come on.
Okay, well, I'm inspired by all you guys. When you and Greg did your logos and text stuff, when you do that, I never used to do it in Blender because too many triangles and it looked ugly. To me, it looks ugly, so I don't do it that way. But then when I saw you guys doing it and making it look good, I'm like, man, if I could just get quads, it would look a little bit better. And it inspired me to think that way.
We got to say hi. Hi, Lewis.
Hi.
Now he can go to bed. Thanks, Lewis. We'll see you later. Sleep well. There's no doubt that Greg is wonderful. I mean, and he's been supportive of me also. And all the things that I do too. Greg is one of the most supportive people in the HitFilm community. So you are welcome. Bye, Lewis.
Good night. Sleep well.
Yep. Yeah. So we really appreciate everything Greg does. So yeah. And Greg is a great person that you can bounce things off of for feedback, and he's easy to talk to, and he's been on my show a few times, and we always have a good time.
He's super funny.
Yeah, and looks aren't everything. Just kidding, Greg. Just kidding. Yep. Oh, wait. Oh, I was watching on my phone. Yeah, Frank only combed his hair. That's what it was. Just looks different. That's all right. He's bald. He has no hair like me too. So it's all good. Yeah.
But what did he say? Something about a shader. I mean, we are going to have some new shaders that I came up with. Not that they're faster. I just got them to work how I get things to work in HitFilm. Like the same way that I create shaders in HitFilm. And it's like pretty cool. So, but you'll see it soon.
That's great. Hopefully we'll all get to see it soon.
Yeah.
Yes, we're definitely going to have one of the tutorials will be focused on that. We'll make sure.
The shaders are really cool. Just a really cool way to use math. And I don't know. They look pretty too. They look pretty.
Yay.
Yeah. And Greg is pretty? Is that what you just said?
No, but yeah.
Greg is pretty funny. He's a fun guy.
So is there I get it. See, that's a C joke. Fun guy.
Fish puns don't stop.
There you go. So here we go. Here's a good question for Courtney to answer. Should I learn Blender or give Filmer a try?
Well, I think what you should do is wait for our tutorials, and when they do come out, you will be basically learning Blender, but you'll be learning it in a much faster, more succinct way with a program that's already made to go into HitFilm. You know what I mean? Blender itself is kind of daunting when you open it up and you look at it, and that little gray square pops up and it says, "Do something with me, make it look cool." Well, we want to show you how to take some of those things that you can buy online on Turbo Squid and the lessons that you show in Udemy and whatnot, make it work, show you how it works. Easy, step 1, step 2, step 3. There's already Blender tutorials out there. So if that's something you want to jump on right this moment, by all means, there's tons of guys that we know that do wonderful tutorials on the program. We're just going to present it in a different way with our own program.
Do the British.
Absolutely not. That's just rude. Nobody understands me when I'm British. You've got to be kidding me.
BrideTube says, "Are you easier than Blender?" Probably not you personally, but Filmer, I think is what he's asking.
I think I'm simple-minded. Like
I just like negative.
I
gotta see things like really, really, really simply.
Yeah, dude, because once you see that it's just one little point, like say, I don't know, the origin point, you'll see that it's really easy. Right.
I think that what we're going to present will be easier to understand than some of the other Blender tutorials I've seen out there. We're going to move a little bit slower, but not in the sense of moving slow on screen. We're just going to move slow with the information so that you can grasp it. And it's not running past you and you're having to pause it. I have no idea what he just clicked on.
What?
Yeah, where did that go? That is what happens too, because you get really good at something and then you just start zoom, and you're kind of going along at impulse and then warp speed, you're gone, and where did we go? We are now in a new quadrant of the galaxy here,
At least we're not in the Delta Quadrant. I would hang out with Janeway all day.
Janeway was cool.
Janeway was awesome.
My wife is a big Janeway fan. Yeah. Can Filmer convert 2D pics into 3D objects? And also, can it create a body mesh out of pics?
I think I know what that is, but I'm not sure. I think he's talking about something different.
Yeah, there are, there are add-ons to Blender where if you take pictures of a guy's head or something,
that
like a filmography kind of a thing, and then add into it, and I'll tell you, those are pretty cool, and I played around with them in Blender, not in Filmer, but pretty much, am I right in saying that anything that you can do mostly in Blender you can also do in Filmer?
Yes. What the differences are some of the hard-coded changes he's made to Blender itself and the aspects that allow it to correlate with HitFilm in a speedy way and to be able to go back and forth. So Blender is synonymous with Filmer. We've just gone a little bit further into the details for what you guys want, and that's speed.
And I wasn't too invasive on the user interface, so you won't get confused when you compare the two programs. It's not like, no, you just open the panel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And CG Geek does have a tutorial for photograph.
There you go.
Yeah,
see?
of a stump.
Wonderful.
And I have seen that, and it's really cool. And I actually did my own head, and I was shocked at how easy it was to do. It really was. There's also one where you can create a 3D model of just yourself, and it starts with a basic head, and then you just shape the head into your look and everything, and then project the photos directly on. It's pretty cool. So
that's awesome.
Somebody is cooking a chicken.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut our window because there's some strange smell.
I can't smell anything. Let me see here. Keen Tools? Is it Keen Tools? Yeah, I think it's Keen Tools. But the blend, so they provide stuff for Nuke as paid software, but the Blender add-on itself is free. And pretty much anything that you can add into Blender, you can add into Filmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I did sorry. I did this crazy like photo scan of a drone that flew down a canyon. Brought that into Meshroom, created the 3D mesh, but also brought in the camera and gave all the different cameras, turned it into one camera so that it's a perfect match move of the video. Plus it matches up with the 3D scene matches up with the video like almost perfectly, except for what's it called? The lens warp.
Oh, right.
That part. Yeah, come on, buddy. I mean, but the video was really small, so there was only so much it could do. But it came out really cool.
No kidding.
So you can, I mean, just 3D, bringing it together.
Yeah. Well, that's what Blender does.
Yes.
And so that's what Filmer does.
2.81 or newer. If you try to use it with anything below that, I mean, you're taking risks because there's bugs in the program. So
yeah, Blender 2.8's got, ooh boy.
Yeah, it's got a few things, but 2.81 is fairly good.
Yeah.
But you're working in 2.83, right? So
yeah,
not a problem. Reality capture, Meshroom.
Yep.
I've never worked with reality capture, but I have worked a little bit with Meshroom.
Meshroom, yeah.
Makes me hungry. Mushroom.
Mm.
Oh, mushroom. Sorry.
So yeah, the point is that Filmer is a derivative of Blender, but it's mostly Blender still. And so pretty much anything you can do in Blender, you can do in Filmer.
Yeah.
And Terry says he's on 4.82. What was the version that Josh's code worked in? Was it
2.8?
Straight up 2.8?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so who knows how far that will go into the future before it doesn't work.
Yeah, like he'd have to maintain that.
Yeah, which I doubt he's going to do.
Yeah, yeah, he has to go into it every single day because Blender changes things.
Yeah, exactly. That's the. Here's a question: Does Filmer have support for Vegas?
Money. Oh, I thought we were going gambling.
Vegas. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That's right. Let's see. In Flying Banana, I'm getting ready to get 2.82 and play around with the UDIMs and the Mantaflow.
Mantaflow, yeah.
Have you worked with that? I haven't touched that at all.
Not at all.
I haven't.
But something new is always cool.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I haven't messed around with that. I think I'm still I'm not even sure which version I'm working. I'm working in Filmer, that's for sure. But I've been playing with MantaFlow when it was still in the experimental builds. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
I have not played with it at all. At all.
Oh.
I do think when 2.8 came out, they came out with a series of fairly basic tutorials along with them, and I thought that those were pretty good. Or is that the kind of look and feel that you guys will have?
Yeah, hopefully just kind of really simple, professional, and direct.
Yep. And the really good voiceover.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Probably the best part of the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Now that you've heard the British, do you want me to do one with that voice?
Oh, we wanted to do one with like, what was the old lady?
Oh, Maudie's Mufflers. Yeah, she's from Jersey.
Okay. Tell her when you can do VFX better than who?
Oh my God. Who? What are we talking about? Andrew?
Who?
Who? That one guy, with the whispering drive, the guy with the talking drive. There's a few fun characters in there.
Because that'd be
That's
hilarious.
great. Yeah. All right. Vote in the chat room. Do you want to see or hear one of these tutorials in British? That's what we want to know. Let us know in the chat room. Greg says he got lost in track code particular.
How good did I do?
Yeah, you might have to do it. But
I do. I've done a few voiceovers, and I actually read a script in German. I got paid to do that. That was pretty cool.
Oh, really? Well, then I think this adds. So I think we already answered the question. Does Court do voice acting?
I do, and I sing. Jay almost got mad at me because I did the Star Trek theme, and he thought he was going to get a ticker
A
from
strike,
me.
and she did the Witcher theme too.
I did. Oh man, I'm so bad. I can't do it. See why I'm sitting on my hands? I don't do anything. Sit here.
Yep. Bri is British shock face from British accent. There you go.
I was actually I worked at a bar, an Irish pub that was owned by a British lady, so I was immersed in that for a while, and that's how I established like pretty good. Like I thought it was pretty good, and I walked up to a group of people that had no idea who I was, and I went with that accent, and she couldn't believe that I wasn't from there.
Wow. That's,
so I thought,
see,
hey,
that's,
I did pretty
that's
good.
a huge compliment. That's a big compliment. Yeah, Tony Dafter Things was working on in fact, it was a Batman thing. And it's something that has never quite come to fruition, but he asked for a bunch of voiceover work, and I lended my voice.
Cool.
Things were going well until I lended my voice, and then the whole project crashed. So it was probably
I don't think it's your fault.
It was me.
No, it wasn't.
So maybe Tony needs a female voice at some point.
Absolutely, let's do it.
You could be famous in a brick film.
Well, I mean, how many British actors do you see? Like when you see them in real life, you're like, oh my God, wait, you're not American? You know?
Yeah, happens all the time. That's
so
right.
I've been able to flip the script once in a while.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, here it is. And he says, I might be ready to do it now. Gotham Tales. Your lines are still on my hard drive. So there you go. Man, it's been so long I can't even remember when or what I did, but I did several, like 3 different voices. I auditioned for 3 different voices, so we'll see what ends up, if anything ends up in there. I wouldn't blame you, Tony, for not having any of my voices in there.
Come on, I believe in you, darling. I do.
Yeah, thank you.
I believe in you.
See, my wife is from New Jersey, so I'm good. I understand that all day long.
So I sound accurate there too. Yeah.
I was the bad guy. You was the bad guy. I was one of the thugs. That's right. I was one of the thugs. I also did an old man voice for him too. I was an old man.
Can you do a voice?
Can I do a voice? I could do.
Yeah.
I can do voices. Are they any good? That's the question. And the answer is no, and they're not very good. It was like there were some man on the street interviews, so I did some voices for the the interviewees on the street kind of a thing, and then I did I did the you want me to break his legs, that kind of stuff, so it was bad. I was the bad guy. That's me. And I was like the old man, somebody needs to get that guy off the street. That kind of stuff, so.
That one's good.
Yeah. That's my best one. See, there you go. And here it is. almycgi.net is in the shop. Wait a minute.
Oh, someone had asked where the link to download a stable version of Filmer was, and that's the best place I would think is in the shop.
Yep.
On Filmer.
Whoops, wrong one. Let me do that again. almycgi.net.
Dubstep.
Home Forum and 3D Shop. There it is, Filming right there in the shop. And there's your releases, right? New release update in a few days. Film tutorials on the way. That's what I'm talking about. There it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Some Sensei.
Thank you. I'll just get up and say thank you. That's all. That'll be my whole speech.
That's your Oscar speech, huh?
That's my Oscar speech. You bet. Off the street. All right. Well, any other questions before we wrap it up here with Frank and Courtney today? We really appreciate everybody being here. Remember, next week I have Mike Miller coming back with Triumph Visual. We're going to be talking about 3D model workflow. So this will be just like this will fall right into what we were talking about a little bit today. But he's going to go into the workflow that he uses to develop his 3D model rendering, and what he does is really, really, really something. So he is really, really great. Flying Banana. I always read that link in a George Takei voice. Yeah, my CGI. I like it. One more time, that is the website, almycgi. Filmer 2.81 is available, but coming out with some new stuff just around the corner.
Yeah.
Just around the corner. You heard it here first. Right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, Jay.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. Thank you,
It's
Jay.
been wonderful. We appreciate you because honestly, Frank wouldn't have gone online or be live or do any of this if it hadn't have been for your support and influence. So I appreciate that. Kind of gets him out there in the world where I feel like sometimes he's an indoor cat.
Yeah. Well, it's my pleasure. The first one we ever did was the one with you and me and Greg.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, we had a ball. We had a ball talking about that. That was
Yeah,
really
you guys were so funny.
It's
yeah.
great.
Well, looks aren't everything, like I said. Here's something to chew on, Frank's. Here's something to chew on, Frank. Future Dreams Custom Physics for Cell Fracture.
Been doing it.
What?
Been doing it.
What?
I can't show you everything.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Even I don't know. So, it's going to be completely new to me seeing some of this, but he knows what's up his sleeve,
She hasn't seen the physics and demolition.
But I get to learn how with the rest of you, in a simple way.
Jupiter crashes.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
From the new show or from the old-timey show?
From the new show.
Jupiter, like the Jupiter. From
Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a tease.
Who's doing that?
I don't know. This is what Greg says here. Jupiter
Is he
crashes.
doing it?
Is
she doing it?
Greg. Know. Greg, inquiring minds want to know, what is this? What is this cryptic message? Were you talking to something that he said earlier? No. We want to know. We want to know. Oh. He says Terry's going to do it.
Oh.
He is? Oh, wait. Terry's going to do it. And then Terry says, I did one, but it wasn't good enough. What do you mean it wasn't good enough? You got to show it to us. We want to see it.
Yeah.
It's probably because you weren't using Filmer, were you?
Ooh. Oh, turret.
Yeah, no, the very first time we got together and we did our thing, we did it on Skype, remember?
Yeah.
You and me and Greg, and we Skyped it in, and then I just set up OBS to record my screen, and we just sat and talked for 40 minutes about Filmer, and it was really, really fun. And then I just threw it up on the channel, and people loved it, remember? So wait a minute, it's on YouTube, but it predates Filmer. Well, now we got to update it. See, that's what we have to do. I got to go look at it now. I'm gonna go look at it. Is it on your YouTube? It's gonna be on your YouTube channel, right? Is it unlisted or is it public?
I think he's talking about 4K.
Yeah, Terry.
Oh,
I'm talking to Terry. He says it's on YouTube, but it predates Filmer.
Well, Terry, if you have the Blender file and you have Filmer,
no, he's talking about our first live chat.
Yeah. No. No, he must be talking about. Oh, it's public. The Jupiter crash. All right. I'll go look at it. I'm gonna find it. Everybody go look at it. I'll look at Terry's channel and see what it is. All right. I think we better wrap this thing up. What do you think?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Check out the Albin Merle YouTube channel. All right. Make a note. Well, thank you both again for being here. It was a pleasure to have you. And we will look forward to seeing everybody else next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. With Mike Miller from Tri-M Visual. Thanks, everybody, for being here. And we will see you next week.
Bye.